10 Nation, it is day 11. Your macros were sent out yesterday, and a lot of you have been asking me, hey, my macros didn't change. Is that done on purpose? Or maybe that was an accident. But in your email, it should say that your macros were not changed. Okay, so it specifically says that. So make sure you read the email. Sometimes I mention things in there that are important. So, don't just disregard. I know a lot of you just get the email and you go right to your macros, which I totally understand. But if there's something in there that you think might be wrong, just read the email first. And then if that doesn't, subdue you, then, reach out to me. Okay, we got a lot of questions, so let's get into them. Somebody had mentioned that they were dead on with their workouts and their diet. That is really good for your first week. That's exceptional. So kudos to you. But they said they couldn't get the water intake. Okay, and so this person is supposed to be having 5 liters according to my recommendation. All right, no big deal. If you can't get 5 liters, it's okay. I mean, it's not. Listen, not having the water that I suggest is certainly not like the calories. Okay, so if you're getting half that water intake, that's a great start. Okay, even 40% of that. So if you're getting, 2 liters as opposed to 5. When I'm thinking this, I'm thinking 5 seems a lot for you even. So I'll have to double check what I said, but it seems like that would be a bit much. Getting 2 liters, that should be good, okay? As a starting point, and just try to improve it. All right. All right. What to eat pre-post workout for performance, recovery, fat loss? Okay, so generally speaking, things that are going to digest easily. Okay, that's sort of like, that might sound obvious, but I really recommend that people have like a smoothie before and after, just because that mechanical digestion is already taken place, right? I mean, the food's already broken down, so the digestion should be much faster. But with every meal, you should be getting definitely some protein and some carbohydrates, maybe a little bit of fat in there as well. But wouldn't be the time. Definitely before and after working out would not be the time to have a lot of fat. Okay, so again, get a good source of protein and carbohydrates in liquid form, both before and after training. All right. In terms of fat loss, that's going to boil down to your overall calories for the day. All right. So how you position your calories throughout the day isn't really going to matter on your overall fat loss. Okay. In terms of recovery, again, just getting that protein in with enough calories. It's not just about protein, it's protein with enough calories, because you don't want that protein to be utilized for energy. So we want to make sure we get enough of our energy sources so that protein can be utilized for what it's supposed to be utilized for. Okay? So again, in that, it's important to get the proper nutrition before and after, but really when we're talking recovery, we're talking about recovering, your recovery doesn't happen, in 4, 6, 8 hours. It happens over several days. So you want to make sure your nutrition is really good over several days, which it should be if you're following your numbers and you're eating, all real whole food. Okay? Question number 3. Do we need to watch fiber or sugar intake? Or, just because we're eating real whole food, should that really matter? Okay, well, if you're eating real whole food, you should be pretty good on this. A lot of real whole foods have, fiber. This can be, bread's not even a real whole food, but, like squirrely bread, the one that I recommend you guys have, that's packed full of fiber. Berries, apples, cruciferous vegetables, generally speaking, are packed with fiber. So we're talking about things like broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, those types of things. What else here? A lot of you having legumes; those are going to be high in fiber. Oatmeal's high in fiber, so you should be okay. Brown rice can be high in fiber. Yams are going to have a little bit more fiber. Potatoes not so much, but so if you're really concerned, take a look at that. I mean, you should be getting at least, as a smaller person, you should be getting at least 20 grams of fiber per day. A larger person should be getting about 30, 35, 40 grams of fiber per day. All right. But yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned with it. If you're eating real whole food for all your calories, you should be okay. In terms of sugar, yeah, I mean, you're eating sugar. The sugar that you're getting should be from really fruit, and that's not going to be such a big deal because a lot of fruit is high in fiber. And if you're eating, let's say you're eating fruit that's not high in fiber, okay? And sorry, I should tell you why I mentioned fiber. Fiber is going to slow down the release of sugar. And that's very important, okay? Because that sort of almost, to some degree, negates the effect of sugar, all right? Now, if you're having, let's say, banana, which is not high in fiber, so it's got a little bit higher glycemic index, right? It's going to enter your bloodstream a little bit faster. But you're having it with other foods. You're having it with some protein, which you should be, and then maybe you're having it with some fat, which, you might be. Then that's going to, curtail the speed at which that sugar is released into the bloodstream. Okay, and the reason why this is important, if I haven't already mentioned this, is because your body has to regulate its sugar amount in the bloodstream. It can't be too high, it can't be too low. So if it gets too high too fast, it has to do something with that. Okay, and quite often, unless you just worked out or you need you need sugar on demand, that will it's more apt to being stored as fat. Just because of the influx of sugar going into the bloodstream, okay? The sugar's got to go somewhere, all right? I'll explain that in better detail in the future, okay? But generally, you should be okay. I wouldn't worry about sugar or fiber when you're eating real whole food, generally speaking, okay? All right, how are we doing for time? Okay, let's get to message of the day. Message of the day, and it's one that I love. It's one of my favorites. It goes like this: I am amazing. Well, this is something you can repeat to yourself, okay? As much as I do believe I am amazing. You can repeat this to yourself. I am amazing. I can do anything. Positivity is a choice. I celebrate my individuality. This is very important. And I am prepared to succeed. Okay, once again, I am amazing. I can do anything. Positivity is a choice. I celebrate my individuality, and I'm prepared to succeed. Okay, so it's something you can repeat to yourself every single day. Maybe sounds a little bit trite, cheesy, but you know what? Positive affirmations do result in, some good overall energy and thoughts. And I know I do, encounter negativity in many forms throughout the day. It doesn't hurt to have more of these positive injections throughout the day, okay? Especially individuality. I think a lot of us tend to, I know I do, I have no problem admitting this, compare ourselves to other people in different facets. But you've got to understand that you are an individual, you are on your own path. You have your own weaknesses, you have your own strengths. Everybody does. You've got to just stay in your lane, focus on what you have to do, and make the best of it. And if we were all the same, the world would really suck, right? It would be terrible. It would be really boring. All right. So with that, you're going to commit to this challenge. You're going to keep some positive vibes going, right? Positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself, and of course, as always, especially during this time, give some gratitude. I will talk to you guys all very soon. I'm out of here. I gotta go see somebody almost very soon. Stick to your macros, okay? Do your best on that. I'll talk to you guys all very soon. See ya.